Good morning. Good morning. Thank you very much to get the energies going. My name is Darlene McCormick, and on behalf of the pastors and our Board of Trustees, we welcome you to Colby Temple for our Sunday service. To begin our service, Eileen Ballantyne will light 3 lights symbolizing the unity of body, mind, and spirit. The other way. There we go. Body, mind, other way. It's messing with you. This is more fun than we thought it was going to be, isn't it?
Here we go.
Thank you, Eileen. And we should give it an aside very thank you to Spirit for messing with us this morning in such an effective manner. Alrighty, please rise as you are able for the invocation and remain standing for our first hymn. Infinite Spirit, we thank you for all who are gathered here today in the light, the love, and the joy that you bring to us and through us. And let us say together, amen.
Amen.
Okay, our first hymn will be page 159, Open My Eyes That I May See. Remember, enthusiasm is all that matters. Thank you. Very nice. Okay. You all may be seated. I was getting there. Thank you, Judy, our associate pastor, Judy Cooper. Located on the handout are our Declaration of Principles. They're also in your hymnal. So please join us in reciting these principles together. We believe in infinite intelligence. We believe that the phenomena of nature, both physical and spiritual, are the expression of infinite intelligence. We affirm that a correct understanding of such expression and living in accordance therewith constitute true religion. We affirm that the existence and personal identity of the individual continue after the change called death. We affirm that the communication with the so-called dead is a fact, scientifically proven by the phenomena of spiritualism. We believe that the highest morality is contained in the Golden Rule. Whatsoever ye would that others do unto you, do ye also unto them. We affirm the moral responsibility of the individual and that he makes his own happiness or unhappiness as he obeys or disobeys nature's physical and spiritual laws. We affirm that the doorway to reformation is never closed against any human soul, here or hereafter. We affirm that the precepts of prophecy and healing contained in the Bible are divine attributes proven through mediumship. Okay, now please join in reciting our healing prayer. It is located in the back of your hymnal. Prayer for spiritual healing. I ask the great unseen healing force to remove all obstructions from my mind and body and to restore me to perfect health. I ask this in all sincerity and honesty, and I will do my part. I ask this great unseen healing force to help both present and absent ones who are in need of help and to restore them to perfect health. I put my trust in the love and the power of God. We will be doing healing at this point. Anyone who would like to receive a healing, please proceed to the back of the church and sit in the left side, my left, not your left, in the chairs and wait for the next available healer. And join me in a guided meditation at this time. Breathe. At this time, please settle into a comfortable position with your hands on your lap, palms up or down as you would like, feet resting flat on the floor. Close your eyes. Breathe in deeply and breathe it all out, releasing all tension in your face, neck, and shoulders. Breathe in. Breathe out. As you again breathe in and breathe out, a relaxed warmth flows ever downward through your throat, heart, stomach, thighs and legs, flowing naturally like warm water flowing. Join with that flow, and your mind releases all thought, allowing you access to your inner self, so you may see all the wonder that is you. Allow your thoughts to take on a red sheen that is the color of ruby red, and listen. I am safe. All my needs are being met. I am here in my body, and all is well. I am open to new ideas and new ways of thinking. Drifting on. your thoughts transition to the color orange. Breathe in orange. Breathe in deeply and let it go. And here yet again, my feelings are the language of my soul, and I express them in a healthy way. I use my creativity for higher purpose. I can let go of negativity, for I am connected to my core. I live in truth. Breathe in orange, hold, and breathing out, let your thoughts turn to yellow, bright, sunny yellow, warming the soul with the power that is you. And hear the voice of yourself. Just by being me, I am valuable. I am open to spirit. I am connecting to greater life. I choose love, light, and healing. I am open to the playfulness of my soul. I have the courage to be me. And breathe in that bright yellow and hold and pause and breathe out healing green, emerald green that grows and surrounds and creates a cocoon of love all around you. And hear yet again, hear your true inner thoughts. Peace is a way of my life. I love myself. I love all others. And I embrace the love of the universe. I forgive myself and I forgive others in a grateful, caring manner because I feel connected with greater life. The green of the thoughts surround you. They move as you breathe and breathe out a beautiful color of blue. And feel as though you're floating on an ocean, for these are your thoughts of blue. And now here, I speak my truth lovingly. I open myself to spirit with great clarity. And I welcome the wisdom that is spirit. I listen with the ear of my heart. My intuition serves me well, for I am peaceful, tranquil, and serene in this present moment. I am peaceful. Going deeper and deeper within your core to where the real answers are. Your thoughts turn to deep blue, indigo, and you float through them with grace. Open your heart, open your soul, and listen. I see the deeper truth. I dwell in the state of presence. I am a timeless, eternal being. My soul is one with the universe. For my challenges are spiritual lessons. And I open my eye to the light that is infinite. Breathing and drifting through the rainbow of your thoughts, your true self, ever upward to purple, a higher vibration, a beautiful, pure purple that shines with the white that is spirit. That is you. And hear your true self. I am grace. I am one with the divine. I understand the deeper truth of suffering, and I experience peace, love, and joy, joy, joy. Completely filled with the love and light of spirit, let your thoughts grow and then become smaller, allowing you to drift back, still keeping the beauty and joy that is you, and feeling the love that is all around you here in Colby Memorial Temple. Thank you. Okay. Now, if you have received a healing resulting in a correction or an improvement, please complete the yellow card in the back of the temple and give it to the pastor or one of the ushers. These cards are important to us. We know where we've come from and we know where we need to go. And now, on with the main event. I have the honor and the privilege of introducing our guest speaker today, the Reverend Diane Davis, medium healer, teacher supreme, and she's always a joy to listen to. So please welcome her very warmly, the Reverend Diane Davis.
I think we're supposed to be singing a hymn. And hang on. Hang on. I am not vocally experienced a lot lately, but I've had experience with music. So 174, Wonderful Words of Life, and Sway. I don't know. That just sounded good, didn't it?
Oh, that's fun. Please rise.
Did you know that the average person speaks 31,500 words a day? I just wanted you to know I've got to get started. Okay, everybody rise if you are able, and do so comfortably, please.
Thank you, honey.
Sure.
Them over again to me, wonderful words of life. Let me more of their beauty see, wonderful words of life. Words of life and beauty, teach me faith and duty. Beautiful words, wonderful words, wonderful words of life. Beautiful words, wonderful words, wonderful words of life. Oh, the blessed ones give to all wonderful words of life. Ever list to the loving call, wonderful words of life. All so freely given, wooing us to heaven. Beautiful words, wonderful words, wonderful words of life. Beautiful words, wonderful words, wonderful words of life.
Thank Thank you. Please be seated.
And thanks to Diane Davis.
Thank you. That's a good way to start a talk. Glad I'm not teaching platform. See?
Glad I'm not either.
Today I wanted to talk about everything and one thing more. And for those of you who are not real familiar with our principles, they are in the front cover of your hymnal, or they are in the little program that you received when you came in. It's blue, and they are listed there as well. The first three have a lot to do with the infinite. And one thing that happens in our community, as well as those people who come into and share, the wonderful mediums that are here, and I include myself in there in somewhere. But the reason I wanted to talk about this today is spiritualism is so much more than just communicating with those who have passed on. And the expression of life in this life at this time is incredibly significant, and all of you are doing that to the best of your ability. And we've gone through such changes. And so the first principle is that we believe in infinite intelligence. I often call it the isness because of the fact that it, to me, is everything that is. It's everything that is, including that chaos that seems to be in some uncertainty or situation that any of you are dealing with personally, or any of us might experience nationally or in the world or humanity. And so it's important to understand the principle number 2 when it talks about physical and spiritual phenomena. That all of those things, aren't those provided wonderfully well by that infinite? And so even that spirit that has passed on, that may have been important and still is to you, they have significance, of course, but they aren't all that is. And all that is your life is going to change throughout the time from your first breath to your last. Now, I normally get up here and joke a lot or get playful and downright rowdy. And so I'm going to try today, but I don't feel it and fully yet, but just watch. Because the third principle is wrapping it all together, and the 9th principle is about the gift of prophecy. We know about the gift of prophecy because of the Bible. And especially here in Florida, we're in the Baptist Bible Belt. There's a huge amount of fundamentalist religions. You can go into Deltona. I remember driving through Deltona, and it was like church, Baptist, Pentecostal, all kinds, and there's no flaw in that, but there was a huge number of them just along one street, one major road. And so it's like all of these people in life, and I don't get cable, but then I do the roulette with the remote, you know, that thing where you're hunting and you're looking and you're hoping that there's going to be some program that you'd like to watch. And there is a ton of programs dedicated to talking about faith and religion and God. And there's a whole bunch of people saying God wants you to be happy. Well, of course. However, in spiritualism, we believe in the infinite. We don't believe in the personal God. We believe in the fullness of all that is. And in the fullness of all that is, your gift of prophecy is there with you every day. You have new insights. You have new understandings. You go through changes. You go through changes of a job. You go through changes of your talents and your skills. And amazingly through relationships and opportunities. And all of us have experienced that. Marty, you didn't give me what they were going to, what's it called? you were going to get me the phone thing to put on this, because I do this, and
Oh,
I bang my head. Well, I like to gesture.
yes, you do.
I do. Okay, so that's the rowdy part. So, the gift of prophecy. I looked up prophecy because I thought you got to sound like you know what you're talking about, Diane. And I've been a spiritualist for over 50 years, and that doesn't mean that I know all, see all, hear all. But then again, there's some things that I am familiar with, and some things that I do like to share, and some things that make it incredibly significant that you're here today in this wonderful building that has housed huge amount of people who have shared their insights, shared their knowledge, shared their understanding, not only of life after death, because that's a big part of what we feel that we can scientifically prove. Spiritualism is a philosophy and a science. It's not just sitting here and praying. That's a part of it, but that is only one part. And the sum total is huge, because the infinite is huge, isn't it? And the amazing part, too, is Principle 7, as long as I'm speaking, is about natural law. And natural law isn't a term that you have to understand what natural law is completely. But what you get to do is discover your happiness and unhappiness and how you're living your life. How are you doing with it? And not from a critiquing standpoint, not from a point of belittling it, but from a point of saying, I'm extraordinary. I'm worthy of all that is available to me. How many of us grow up as little people? Didn't you grow up as being a little person first? And all those little people, you included, me included, we discovered things. Did you know that you learned to walk one time? One time. The rest is practice. Well, it is. And so think about all the things in your life you've done one time, and then you've done it again and again. And if you're one of those that makes chocolate chip cookies, I'll help you practice. Just saying. And I found out that they were invented by Ruth Wakefield of Toll House in 1933. Just saying. See, I know some facts. So during the healing, it was talked about the power of God. And often the term of God is utilized by many of you and me. But I speak of it as the isness. And the reason for that is because to me, it's everything and one thing more. It's that next blink of your eye. It's that next breath that you take. It's that next relationship that you discover. It's that next flower that is blooming. A couple of days ago, I discovered what an echo moth is. I never knew what an echo moth was. It was a discovery. I very gingerly put it in a container. I didn't want to harm it, but it didn't look really like it was moving. But I took it up to our camp office where the woman that is in the office gardens a lot. I thought maybe she'll know what this is. But it was beautiful. And the markings on it were gorgeous. Now, I'm not a horticulture person. If you look at my yard, you'll get the hint. Honest, you will. I have a sign that says, free weeds, pull your own. I do. So I went up there and I said, Robin, do you know what this is? Have you? And she said, well, no, I don't know that I've seen that before. So she went over to her computer, and immediately we get to Google and the truth, don't we? Anyway, so now she's looking at all the images and weeding out, no joke intended, the ones that didn't really identify it. And then finally came to one, she said, Diane, that's an echo moth. I said, really? And she showed me the picture of it. And the picture of it, it was on a leaf. Well, I found it on the concrete steps at the back door. So and we weren't sure it was alive. And I said, oh, okay. I said, well, that's really amazing. And so then its little antenna went, and I went, oh! And I gingerly took the little sheet of paper and moved it back in the container and took it outside and tried to get it on a leaf in the shade. I figured it might want shade. It's kind of hot, hot. Okay, so where does that go? It goes with everything and one thing more. The infinite is everything and one thing more. And the next moment, you're going to leave here today. Some of you will head up to Grove service, which I hope you will do. And some of you will head to lunch, which some of us will want because we haven't eaten a lot today, and we didn't eat after 6 o'clock last night. So anyway, and then some of you will have other opportunities to share with friends, to share with family, to go home and nap. You see, it's the multiple opportunities. And that's one thing more. And even if it seems routine, and even if it seems like you've done it 100 times, and even if it's the same people, don't treat them like they're the same people. Don't treat them like they're predictable. And you know why? They can have a new insight. They can have a new inspiration. They can go through an awareness of some physical phenomena or spiritual phenomena, and it doesn't mean they've learned how to levitate. That's in Levitation 201. You'll have to take the course. But a lot of people think that we are who we were in the past. Have you noticed that? We're often treated that way. And the closer you are to an individual, the more you will think you know them. You know everything about them. You've been with them for years, huh? Yeah. So they have tendencies towards something, but it doesn't mean, see what I mean? It doesn't mean that they don't have a capability to have a new idea, or maybe they've picked up an echo moth, and for one moment they have that wonderful thing of discovery. The spirit of us works best at play. That's the spirit of you and me. The spirit that houses the soul of you. And the play doesn't mean you're making fun of people. It doesn't mean that you're just not acknowledging. Play, to me, means lighthearted as best as possible. And even in times of challenge, and even in times that are difficult, you can still find joy, and that seems to be impossible sometimes. It seems to be impossible when we dig deep within ourselves, because one of the things about natural law, and one of the things that we encourage, is that you know yourself. And how you know yourself is not from a point of depreciation, but a point of liberation. So the things that affected you from childhood, the things that you might have heard, or the attitudes that you thought you had to live. One of the things when I went to college, this is true, when I went to college, I had moved from a big high school in Arizona to a little high school in Florida. I flourished at the little high school because they would let me talk. Just kidding. And yet, the summer before college, I made my clothes. I worked at the city hall for the building and license inspector on a classical electric typewriter. Now, this is so long ago, many of you will not be able to identify with this at all. So just tune out for 2 seconds. There was an electrical cord for it, and the return button was this big square thing, and you push the return, and the carriage went ding. That was the electrical typewriter. The rest of it was manual. But anyway, I worked and worked and worked, and so then I made my clothes, and so then I went to Pelt's Shoes in downtown St. Petersburg. Well, Pelt's Shoes, let me tell you. Anyway, they had a huge inventory of merchandise. This isn't the Pelt's that's there today, but they are still in business. Is that you could go in and you could take down the boxes and, you know, put them by your chair and try them on, or somebody was kind enough to come and measure your foot and make sure you were wearing the right size for you, and they weren't pushy. So I had shoes that matched almost every outfit or dress that I had made for school. But you know what? As a freshman at FSU, I was lost. 500 in a psychology class, 300 people in a biology class. I was lost because I felt so much like I didn't belong. I didn't belong even with what I was wearing. Even with what I was wearing. And those kinds of feelings and attitudes, you may not have experienced the same thing, and I'm not encouraging it, but you in your life have experienced multiple emotions about different situations that have affected you in your attitude about who you are today. And the wonderful thing is you can have a new insight and new understanding. So now I wear whatever I want. And I moved to a place where I could belong because I didn't belong. But a lot of us who are here, because as a seer, which my grandmother called me, as a seer, you're different. That doesn't mean better, that doesn't mean worse, that doesn't mean lofty, nothing. It just means a certain capacity and a certain sensitivity. And so what happens is we fit in with each other because we sometimes allow differences to be okay. It's differences of opinion that don't always get okay. But the differences, it's like amazing. I leave here and I get out in the world. Almost every day I try to get out. I try to be around people. I try to talk. I try to, yeah, I'm still talking. And the gorgeous thing is because life is happening, life has movement, and life is expanding constantly. One of the ways that your brain, mind, can respond to life when it gets away from being defensive and protective, when you get away from feeling like you have to be safe and secure, is that third way is about exploration and discovery. That's the echo moth. That's the discovery of wearing whatever I wanted, because I still go through a dilemma looking in my closet. Do anybody do that? I go up to the closet and, you know, it's like I've got this huge amount of clothes and only a few of them fit. COVID was really hard, but still is. But the reason I say that is the infinite, your soul wants to create, and it wants to create joyfully and impeccably and quickly. And the way it does that is in the direction you're looking, not with your physical sight, but with the inner excitement of you. And if you are depressed, or if you are sad, or if you have loneliness, or if you go through any emotions that are keeping you from your joy. And I go through a lot of emotions that do that, where I have to talk to myself, cry it out, get real with it to understand it. So it's not like suddenly touching bliss. Joseph Campbell taught about bliss, and I never could figure out how I wouldn't hit this thing. Anyway, and that does not take credit from what that man did in his lifetime. All of us are unique, and all of us are extraordinary. All of us have wonderful potentials. May not be like the person sitting next to you or person you're looking at. You can look at her. But what they do, what we all have in common, is that we in this community believe. And belief is conjecture. Conjecture is we're thinking that it works, or we're thinking that it exists. Knowing is certainty. When you know something, and all of you have gone through experiences where you've had a knowingness about something in your life, and you just knew that you needed to change cars, or you needed to move, or you needed a new job, or that you knew that person that you care about so much really needed you in a moment. That is a capability and a sensitivity that is incredibly beautiful. And all of us have it. We have that sensitivity. And it's to understand that the infinite is everything and one thing more. And it's that next breath, it's that next association, it's that next activity, it's that next moth you might take off the concrete step. And you have it, and it will be with you. It will be with you as you, because the soul of you wants to create joyfully, quickly, impeccably. It does that constantly because you're in the body. And then we know the soul will pass. I was going to talk about expiration dates today, but I was worried that some of you would see a seriousness with that. So I shut my pantry door and said, I'll get to you later. The infinite is everything and one thing more. That's one reason why somebody giving you a reading will have one more thought, one more emotion, one more interpretation, one more clarity. Why the healer may have one more moment of energy, movement, and expansion and sharing. Why it occurs. And that's the beauty of us as spiritualists, that we recognize these things. And I am so grateful to be able to stand up here. Darlene doesn't know this, but many years ago, one of us would be up here to speak, and we would be doing everything. We would be chairing, leading the singing, leading the meditation, and then immediately going into a talk and messages. So it's like a practice capability in me. And I'm delighted to be up here with her, and Coquette is great in handling Zoom. I wish you all a wonderful day, and I want to just encourage you with one thing before I stop. And I am going to stop talking in 1 second, moment, time, thing. Mary Chapin Carpenter, the singer-songwriter, I like her stuff. And she wrote a wonderful song called The Hard Way. And in it, she said, we've got 2 lives. One we're given, and the other one we make. More. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you. We all love a little Diane. She puts a spin on things that we all can understand. Okay. I'm just making sure I found my place. Okay. During our musical interlude, we will be passing the basket, and we thank you in advance for your generosity. And the musical interlude will be played by Coquette. What's it going to be?
Imagine.
Imagine. Thank you. I'm not the only one. Hey, you join us. Oh, we're always a favorite with the folks. All right, next we have announcements. Next Wednesday, our message service. The message bearer for a demonstration of spirit service will be Nora Esther. And next Sunday, July 17th already, our speaker will be Inez Bracy. If you haven't heard her, you're going to want to. She's quite fun. And the Sunday Lyceum speaker will be our Reverend Judy Cooper, our very own associate pastor. Now, every Sunday we have Adult Lyceum, also known as Sunday School, from 9:30 to 10:15 in the Colby Temple. And let me just pause for a moment. And please assume an attitude of prayer. We'd like to thank you all. Mother, Father, God, thank you for these gifts from all gathered here today. May we use them and have the wisdom to use them for our highest and best. And in this we say amen. We're a little discombobulated today. I kind of like it. So the Lyceum is also known as Sunday School from 9:30 to 10:15. Now, to participate in absentee healing, please print your name and the first initial of the last name of a loved one, friend, or even a pet in our healing book, and that is over here to my left, your right, at the back of the temple. And flyers for camp events are also reside. They live right by the healing book. We have an activities calendar and a church bulletin in your hymnal for you to take home and to give to a friend. Take extras as you need them. People like them. And this afternoon, we have a workshop. That's next week. Next Saturday, Ethics as You Expand Experiences of Your Skills by our very own Reverend Diane Davis. And that'll be Saturday. That's already July 16th, 10:30 to 12:30. and that is in the Andrew Jackson Davis building. Now, ethics, as you expand experience of your skills, she'll provide you the ability to explore ethics versus morals as your own mediumistic and/or healing skills progress and grow. And with discussions, questions, and answers, this workshop is designed to fulfill part of the SCSCMA curriculum. Even if you're not an official student of our association, you are welcome to attend. And we also have Gala Day coming up. It's a Spirit of Enlightenment this time, Saturday, August 13th, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. If you haven't been to a Gala Day, it's big fun. We have retail opportunities, lectures, healing, readings. It's a very broad sampling of the community and all the community has to offer. So come on for that. Again, that's August 13th. And always, please refer to our website for any updates and change. And it is casadega.org. Easy to remember. And it also has monthly information and more upcoming events that may not have made the bulletin. We have a hymn. Next hymn, page 110. Please rise if you are able. And it is Count Your Blessings. Sing loud and proud. When upon life's billows tossed, when you are discouraged and think all is lost, count your blessings and one by one. Count your blessings one by one. Count your blessings maybe one by one. Blessings will be half done. Okay. Are you ever burdened with a load of care? Does that crossing heavy you are called to bear? Count your many blessings, every doubt will fly, and you will be singing as the days go by. Count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your blessings, name them death done. Count your blessings, name them one by one. Yes, ma'am. Blessings, see what God hath done.
Julio, come up here and lead this song, would you please? Would you mind?
Mama.
Would you mind? I like okay. I like this song. It's just like I don't know if somebody did it on steroids.
All righty then.
Oh,
Do we get a
Julio,
do-over?
I'll stand in front of you, but you'll have to sing to the side.
You can have this space. Yay! What a big treat.
Just start it lower for me.
You are the good treat today for us.
Okay, I'm standing in front of you, but you can stand here and nobody will see your shorts.
Oh, you can.
Come on. You can shout.
Well, he's got good legs.
If you need, do you need it to start? Or you have an idea?
Oh, there's no music?
No.
Well, we don't need to go.
When upon life's billows you are tempest tossed, when you are discouraged thinking all is lost, count your many blessings, name them one by one, and it will surprise you what the Lord hath done. Count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your blessings, see what God has done. Count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your many blessings, see what God hath done. Are you ever burdened with a load of care? Does the cross seem heavy you are called to bear? Count your many blessings, every doubt will fly, and you will be singing as the days go by. Count your blessings one by one. Count your blessings, see what God hath done. Count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your many blessings, see what God has done. So amid the conflict, whether great or small, do not be discouraged, God is over all. Count your many blessings, angels will attend. Help and come keep you to your journey's end. Count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your blessings, see what God has done. Count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your many blessings, see what God has done.
Oh, very nice. Oh, thank you, Julio, for. Pardon me?
It's almost too fast.
Yes, yes. Let us always know that this service remains flexible because we are always learning. All right, that's great. All right, and now we welcome our message bearer, Diane Davis, to the platform. Warm welcome, please.
Count your many blessings in I'm one of the few people that can get away with these things, I think. But I want to recommend getting some new recordings that are a little slower. Anyway, just saying. Does anybody want a message? Because we can just go to the next thing with Grove service and you all can get on with your day. And oh, gee. Okay. Eileen, I'd like to talk to you, please. Since you raised your hand. An interesting thing is I owe you an apology. I just remembered that. God, it's great getting old. Gray hair gives you all kinds of excuses. I forgot. Anyway, because I had a mix-up and thought that I was on the platform and you were listed on the website, and I said, oh, you need to take that off because I'm scheduled. And they did. I know.
I didn't even know, so.
It was just a moment. I'm taking Prevagen. I'm working on this thing of, you see, there's this wonderful thing that occurs, and Eileen will recognize this, is there's this wonderful thing of thought. Your mind is incredible, all of you, is that once we start training it, there's all kinds of stuff that goes on in here, you know, and some you can explain, and some just sounds like, you did what? And then that's not even the dream state. Dreams during sleep. And that's another thing where you go, huh? And the amazing thing is these times, Eileen, I'm not here to talk about me at this moment, I'm supposed to be talking about you. Eileen, it feels to me as though the latter part of August, early part of September, you're sitting down with a calendar in front of you and you're mapping out when you're going to be going where you're going. You've got 3 trips ahead after that time, and all 3 of them have significance. One of them, though, is to family or friends, and they're in the north. I want to go toward Ohio. I want to go toward that area, what we would call the Midwest. I never understood why they call that the Midwest. I mean, I grew up in the West, and Midwest to me would be Iowa, but not over, I don't know. But anyway, what I'm getting at is one of those trips is going to be connected to people, and it's going to be a pleasure trip. The other 2 are going to have more work involvement or more opportunity for you to share your skills and knowledge. And I feel really good about that for you because you've been compiling a book and you've been trying to keep quiet about it. I'm really blowing her surprise. Anyway, keep going with the book. Because as I am aware of this, I just want to say there's a gentleman with you in spirit. And I feel him to be so loving and caring. And just so wanting you to keep going. And I feel as though, as I am aware of him, I don't see him, I just can feel him. And as I say that to you, he would not have been somebody to write a book, but he really would have been somebody to want you to go forward in your life, even if you didn't understand what you were doing. You got it? And one other thing about him, he was handy with his hands, mechanically. And I feel as though that he's showing me your hands. So it's something to do with either get typing or get writing or whatever this is with your hands. And it feels very productive and very beneficial for you. And see, I know I'm supposed to give short messages, but I'm having a good time talking with you. One more thing I want to just mention is you want to have this checked out before you go. When I say that to you, checked out, so that you feel more confident in the traveling. And that will be exciting for you. And bless you, and thank you so much. And thank you for accepting my apology. You had to, didn't you? You were here in front of everybody. Okay, fine. Anyway, okay, the woman in the turquoise bandana, or whatever. Hi, did you want a message today? No, your friend can't acknowledge. Would you like a message? Are you okay? You know, as I'm speaking with you, one of the things I want to tell you is the latter part of this month, July, early part of August, I see you signing a document. And when you sign it, then I see you do this. That gesture means symbolically to me that you're done or finished. Something's getting completed in that. And if it's not a contract or paperwork as I see it in my mind, it would be an agreement, because it's going to release something for you where monies are involved. And I feel as though that this is important for you as you get into these next 2.5 to 3 months, because you're going to find that you're going to be able to take care of more and more that you didn't think you could. Late September last year, early October, difficult time. And I feel like I want to say that's over, that's done, let it be what it was, because it feels to me like you're very sensitive, and it feels like you would be holding on to some of whatever occurred, holding on to sensitivity about it. It doesn't mean that you have to get rid of all of the thoughts about it, but don't allow yourself to feel pulled back into it, and that includes with a couple of people. I also feel as though that this is a great time period for you, because it hasn't felt like that for the last 2.5 years. It's been uphill, uphill, uphill. And I just feel like what I see is that hillside embankment, I see it begin to become a plateau. What that would indicate to me is you start to walk forward straighter in terms of the things you're able to accomplish and do. And by the latter part of October this year, that you're going to start to feel like that your skills and your knowledge are being appreciated. And I also would want to tell you that it's about time, isn't it? Yeah. And before I leave you, because see, I'm supposed to watch the clock, is that I do want to tell you one thing. You have a wonderful woman in spirit connected to you. Very loving, very caring. She would have loved the joke about chocolate chip cookies. I'm going to leave that. Thank you. Lynn? Didn't think I knew who you were, did you? Haven't seen you in forever. But anyway, one thing I want to tell you is it feels like there's a movement forward that's very productive. And I see this around mid-August to late September. And I feel like there's like this push. And you know what it reminds me of? Did you ever go to Vegas and gamble? Okay, well, can't describe. Well, you know how you've seen that when somebody's making a wager, and we would often see this in movies or on TV too, and they take the chips and they shove them into the center, and then they win the pot. That's what I see. So if you go to Vegas, I'll carry your luggage. Okay. Anyway. Sorry. But what I want to tell you is when I see the chips and I see them, it means to me things are coming in. And I feel like you've been working toward that or making an effort toward that. And it feels to me also that you've had some health issues or health limitation. Do I call them limitations? And I feel like these things are sort of interwoven with each other. So it feels to me that as you get through this summer and into the early fall months, I see you talking to a healthcare practitioner of your choice. And I would just say yes. And it's somebody new to you, and it's somebody that I feel is going to be giving you assistance because I know you've helped others also. But this is for you. I also feel as though that there's some travel for you too. So you and Eileen can kind of rub fingers together and kind of keep the energy moving there. But I see travel for you as well, but I see it as though it could easily be a cruise. Sorry, Eileen, you were on land. Anyway, but it feels like a cruise or over the water. And it feels like a lot of people, so it feels like it could easily be a cruise that has a lot of activity, and you could even be participating in the activities in some way. And so that feels like late January, early February of 2023, and it feels really productive. It's really good to see you today. Bless you for being here. Okay, I got a few more minutes. Don't I have a few more minutes? Is that a Queen Elizabeth wave, Judy? Are you saying 5 minutes? Are you saying you want a message?
That works too.
I know that, Marie. You just blew my card. Reverend Judy Cooper, since I know nothing about you, this person's been a good friend for many years. I'm going to move into symbols, sweetie. And one of them is a pail of water. And I feel as though that it doesn't mean about washing things and everything. It feels to me as though the enrichment of life is there with you, and you're going to notice that these next 6 to 8 weeks, things are altering a great deal. They alter in such a way that I feel like, I'm going to speak honestly here, like Craig could be coming back to assist you with more. It's like I feel like people stepping up and close to you. And it feels rather exciting because it's going to allow you to feel that that pail of water is there, whereas it hasn't been as easy or as obvious in the last several months. But one thing I would want to tell you is I'm very aware of a B. B. It's a woman's first name initial, and it's in spirit, but it's big. It's a big B. And the feeling I have is that she was a tough cookie in a lot of ways, but extremely, extremely caring. And so it was like a kind of a dichotomy of her personality. And the one thing I feel with her at this time is you're going to find that by mid to late September this year, into early October, your travel opportunities, you can talk to Eileen and Lynn up here, and they're all got movement if you need to hang on and touch them as well. Anyway, but what I'm getting at is there is travel opportunities that I feel are going to open up. One is going to be the west coast of the United States. Unexpected and not an emergency, but it comes quickly. And I would want to say when you have that opportunity, go. Because it feels like it opens a door, and doors to me are opportunity choices where I want you to go through the door. And I feel really productive with it. And I also want to tell you that health-wise, things are, you're on your feet now, literally, but not this moment, but it feels to me that it's important for you to know that, and it's important for you to know that that's going to be a part of your experience over these next several months. So if you do go through those little dips or challenges, those are temporary, they are not permanent. This woman is a brand new great-grandmother. Yes. And if she will show you the little picture of this baby, this baby's name is Poppy. Can I do one more? Sure. Okay, who wants a message? See, you know what they always say? They say you should go to people you don't know. I know, but I love to go to people I know, because it keeps me in good standing with them. Okay. There's this wonderful, I'm sorry, she grinned before you did and waved, you know. She was doing the Queen Elizabeth wave too. Anyway, I can talk to you? You sure? You're awfully quiet for somebody who wants to say yes. You know, as I'm talking with you today, the feeling I have is that late October, early November, time for a birthday or an anniversary, there's a big celebration. And if it's not your own, it's one you're going to participate in, because you're moving right into a time period between mid-August into late this year, 2022, when there are many celebrations you're going to participate in, and they feel to me to be very special or exciting, and you're very touched by them. That's not touched, that's touched. Just wanted to qualify. Because I think that you are a very loving woman, and I think that you are very caring. But I also think that you have gone through some hurts, and you've gone through some disappointment, and I want to encourage you not to withhold. Let those hurts and disappointments be past, to be the new you, the remarkable you, and you're very skilled with your hands. You're laughing. I got these weeds. Okay. Gadzooks, can't find a weeder. No, just kidding. When I mention your hands, it doesn't always mean that you're the artist, but you can be. You could be extremely skilled, knowledgeable, but you are, and your hands are very capable hands. You probably take for granted those skills at this time, but I want to tell you something. There is a man who I feel has passed away connected to you, and with him is a young boy. When I say a young boy, I don't mean a toddler. I feel like this boy was between 10 and 12 years old when they passed away. I would ask you to ask within the family if you don't identify who that person is with that child, but I feel as though connection to you. And I also want to just mention to you that as you go through this year, you're going to find that things get smoother because there's some question regarding your home and money. You understand? Okay. You can keep that quiet. They don't all have to come egg your house. Money in house, money in residence, it'll all get straightened out. You'll have a clarity with it mid to late August, early September, and then you're going to take some steps and you're going to make some changes. When you make the changes, it won't be, excuse me, it won't be because you feel like you have to, it'll be because you want to. And you're going to be happier with what you're doing and where you're going. Question. Do you have family or connection with North Carolina, Tennessee? Yeah, hang on, look. I'm going to finish. Sorry. Would you understand if I said go? Okay. You'll understand it. Sorry. It may not be up there, but I get a strong sense that I want to say go. So don't be afraid, okay? And I'm still all choked up. Thank you all.
Thank you, Diane Davis. Always amazing. We would like to remind everyone we will have our afternoon message service and snacks starting at 12:30 p.m. in the Davis Hall. A group of mediums and student mediums will be given spirit greetings to as many individuals as they can reach during that hour. Everyone is welcome. And we encourage you to visit our bookstore today, which is open from 12 to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, from 10 to 6 on Saturday. At this time, we'd like to thank our live stream audience, viewers, for joining us today. We look forward to spending time with you again.